Hey, it's Karen Carson here with Bebe Rexha in the Hard Rock Artist Lounge. You are one of our leading ladies tonight for Audacy's Leading Ladies event at the Hard Rock.
Yes.
Are you so excited to be here?
I'm so excited to be here. I mean, anytime I can be, especially in New York City, it's very special for me since I grew up here. So, yes, I'm very excited.
You're a Staten Island girl.
I am. I'm a Staten Island girl. Shaolin. Shout out.
So when you come to New York, are you like you have your places that you go, or?
Well, I always stay with my parents, but they are currently out of town.
So you have the house to yourself.
No, it doesn't feel the same. I feel like the people make the home, not the home
That's
itself.
true.
So,
That's true.
but I do have, a couple of favorite spots. I go to eat some good pizza, and I have my little secret places.
Oh, okay. They're secrets. Okay, because I'm a foodie.
I'll tell you.
Okay, good. Well, congratulations on The Heart Wants What It Wants. I mean, you are just exploding everywhere and bringing joy to everybody. But I think there's a really great story behind I'm Good, Blue. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Well, we wrote the song 5 years ago, and we just wrote it for fun. It was the what the song has taught me, and I'll tell the story, is that sometimes the best things are the things you don't control. And with I'm Good, we just wrote it 5 years ago. We thought nothing of it. Like, it was just another day in the studio. And then, it got leaked because David played it at a festival and somebody had posted the music.
That's not even good audio. But it went viral, right?
You should have heard the original, and then somebody had took the audio from YouTube or whatever and then put it on TikTok, and then it went viral.
And the rest is history.
Yeah.
It's great. You've done so many collabs. Was there ever a song that you were like, wow, why did I give that away?
I think in the beginning of my career, I was more sensitive like that because I feel like everything was like, this is my chance, and then what I've learned is that there are so many chances as long as you do what you love and you just you do it for the same reason as why you started. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now I see that every song that I've ever given away or have featured on, that was necessary to get me to where I am today.
It came back to you in other ways that you weren't even thinking about, which is incredible. Because you just have, as songwriters always fascinate me because when did you start to know when you could write songs?
Well, I started at 8 years old writing poems, but just things that rhymed, anything that, anything. So I knew that when I was 8, but I knew when I was 4 or 5, I would sing a lot to the Little Mermaid. It was my favorite. So that to me was I love music. I want to do music. And then going through school, I remember teachers being like, yeah, that's a great, but what do you really want to do? And I'm like, no, I'm going to do music. I don't know how I'm going to do it, whether I'm a songwriter or behind the scenes, I'm going to be in music in some capacity. And they'd always look at me like, okay, this little girl is probably a little crazy, but here I am.
But you blew everybody away in choir with your vocals. I love the story where they were having you go through the range and then they were like, wait a minute, excuse me, and you kept going.
Yeah, I loved choir. Choir was really a safe space for me, and it was therapy in a sense. So funny story. We were singing the scales,
right?
And the teacher kept going up and up and up and up the scales, and then she stopped and she looked at me and she's like, "Who is that?" And I was like, "That's me." And she's like, "You're a coloratura." And I was like, "Oh, I had no idea what that was." And she explained it to me. It's a really high register.
Did you go home to mom and dad and be like, I'm a coloratura?
Yeah, my dad's like, huh? What? In Albanian, he's like, what? What's Jesus? He's like, Jesus coloratura. And I'm like, opera, dad, very high. I could work on that.
Yeah.
And he's like, wow, opera. He's like, yeah,
Daddy understood.
He didn't want me. He didn't want, because my dad never loved the pop world. So anytime I'd be like, oh, opera, classical, he'd be like, oh yes, very good.
Was he strict?
Yeah, he's a normal Albanian dad, immigrant.
Oh, I have a lot of Albanian friends.
Oh gosh,
they
sorry.
have rules. No.
Sorry to hear that.
They're the best people.
Just kidding. Yeah, we're awesome.
I was wondering, here we are for International Women's Day, and so many women are out there challenged every day. You're in the music industry. You must have been challenged a bunch as a woman in business or just the world out there when you're trying to be heard or control your music. Have you seen any improvement in the industry or for women in general in the business world? Or is it more like you learned your lesson?
I have honestly been seeing a lot of I work with a lot of women right now, which is amazing for me. So I definitely see a change. The only change I'd love to see in my creative space is more producers.
Yes.
Women that are making the actual beats and the music and producing the project. A lot of times that's more of a men's world.
Yes.
And I just feel like I feel like a lot of, like me growing up especially, like I never saw a lot of female producers. It was always men. And then usually the writer would be a female. So that's the only thing that I would love to change. But beyond
that's
that,
starting to change right now.
Yeah, it's the numbers are still extremely low.
Yes.
I don't have the statistics saved in my head, but I saw it recently and they're pretty low.
Right.
But I will say that for female executives, I work with like my day-to-day manager at Dalen is a female, and my A&R is a female, Karen Kwok, and it's like, we have Michelle Babbitt here. Like, there's so many, there's so many females around me. So I actually do see a change, and they're all super incredible and deserve to be there. And I see a change for sure.
Okay, that's good. That's promising to know. And also being just in radio in New York City, I've also known Michelle and a ton of women that love music and that hold badass positions in the industry. And you are just a badass yourself. I mean, a singer, songwriter, producer, and really great in videos. Do you ever think that you maybe want to act or maybe...
I actually had this this director hit me up recently and be like, do you want to be in a movie? But he does scary movies. And I'm like...
You want to be a screamer?
I'm like, nah, I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. I don't know. I'm up for anything. Honestly, my heart lies. Like if I'm gonna go into a little bit of a different world and like try something else, it'll be the business side. I want to start like a publishing company and sign other songwriters and artists and producers and creatives because that's very fulfilling to me.
You go, girl. You'll do it. You'll definitely do it. One of my favorite stories is that you wanted Snoop on one of your songs, and you were telling this story, and you're like, I'm just gonna go out there and do it, and next thing you know,
yeah. I mean, I find there's been a lot of situations. I remember when even with the song I put out a while back, "No Broken Hearts," I was at a party, and Nicki Minaj's manager was there, and I said. I literally walked up to him and I said, hi. I said, I am such a big fan of Nicki and you, and I think you guys are killing it. And I was like, my goal is I want to get Nicki Minaj on my next single. And he's like, okay, this girl has balls, just walking up to me being like, boom, boom. And I knew about him and I knew about his work and just, and he's like, play me the song. And I'm like, play you the song like right now in the middle of this party? He's like, yeah. He's like, if it's a good song, he's like, I'll be able to tell.
In like 10 seconds, 30 seconds,
and I
right?
played it for him, and then and then she got on the track, and it was an amazing song, and she killed it. And the same thing with Snoop. I've been working on my new album. I'm really excited about it, and I saw that Snoop followed me on Instagram, and I was like, okay, let me try let me just hit him up. Like what does it hurt? Like
right.
If you don't
ask,
you're gonna
lose.
Yeah, if you don't ask, then you don't get. So I messaged him and I was like, hey Snoop, I have this really cool song called Satellite. And I was like, I would love for you to jump on it. If you like it, can I email it to you? And then he texts me his email. And then I wake up the next morning and in my inbox, I see his email. And then I get a FaceTime call at 7:20 in the morning, and he's just like smoking a joint. He's just like smoking. He's like smoking, and he's like, "Yo, B, check." He's like, "Check your inbox," and I'm like, "Oh my God, Snoop Dogg just called me!" It literally happened so quick, and it's amazing. Like he absolutely killed it. It's such a feel good record. I'm like. I love it. It's one of my favorites.
Oh, this is so great. I just wish you tons of success. You just go out there and have a great time tonight.
Thank you.
And Bebe Rexha, Best Effing Night of My Life tour.
Yes, make sure you come and see me on tour. I'll be coming to a city near you.
Yes. Thanks. Have fun tonight.
Thank you.
Thanks for being one of our leading ladies.
Thank you.
Enjoy.